Hello everyone, welcome to Overcharged Plasma Gaming. Here we have a little pre-tournament vlog. We have a team tournament this weekend, leaving bright and early tomorrow morning to get down to England. It's a bit of a secretive one, it was semi-secretive really, so we won't be showing lists in great detail apart from our own lists because that's our own intellectual property at the end of the day. And we also will not be highlighting in good detail our opponents' lists because it is at the end of the day teams practiced for the WTC next year. So just to fill you in a bit about this tournament, there's 3 Scottish teams, 3 English teams, and 3 Welsh teams heading to England to go play some games, and then there's one team which is helping us pad out the numbers as well, and I believe they're also repping England, although I might be wrong on that one. So Dave and I are in a team together. We are part of Team Avon, or Scotland 1, and then Matty is part of.
Bold of you to think you're Team 1.
I am Team 1.
We're Scottish Broth.
Scottish
I'm
Broth,
playing
that's
with
it.
Bowling Pursuit guys.
Yeah, and they're mostly based around Glasgow. So Matty is the extra pulled in from this side of the country.
Myself and Brian have been dragged in.
Yeah,
make up the numbers for the Glasgow boys.
Kicking and screaming. Yeah, so Matty should be a friendly face to everyone, but Dave down at the bottom there is a new face. He's not featured in a battle report yet, although that will come one day, I'm sure. Dave, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, what you normally play, your tournament history, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, first of all. It's good to finally make it on the channel after, 2 years?
Something like that,
more? Yeah. Something got in the way of that, something like COVID or something, I don't know.
COVID and kids.
COVID and kids, yeah, that's it for me. So, anyway, yes, thanks for having me on. I am joining Chris this weekend in the same team. So a bit about me, faction-wise, pretty much most of Imperium, except the dreaded AdMech of late. So for me, yeah, it's been a bit of a history of Knights, Space Marines, Guards, pretty much everything along those lines. And Custos recently as well. So, but for this weekend, I'm on Space Marines. So, history for me, I've been playing 40k again for probably about 3.5 years, and I've been fortunate enough to do reasonably well at some tournaments. And yeah, so got selected for the Scotland team back in 2019, but obviously due to COVID, there's not been a major event to go to yet. So although I've been on the team for I think more than 2 years now, I haven't actually played a game for Scotland yet, so that's actually quite funny. And yeah, looking forward to this one.
Well, surely you'll be playing our game for Scotland this weekend.
Yeah, well, technically Team Avon, isn't it? It's not actually Scotland, so yeah. So actually got selected to the team. I think it's September 2019. So yeah, over 2 years ago. But we haven't had a competitive Team Scotland game since then. So yeah, just been kind of practicing a whole bunch of different stuff. But yeah, for me, just strongly Imperium, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and you've got a couple of tournament wins under your belt, don't you? You've won.
I've won, just the one win, but quite a few podiums. Yeah, so it's been quite fortunate recently. Yeah, most of the events I've been to over the last couple of years have been since before COVID, and a few since. Quite a few podiums, and yeah, just generally done okay recently.
Awesome. So, so before we get into our armies, what are your expectations for this event? Dave, we'll just keep going with you, and we'll circle back on to me after Matty. So, Dave, your expectations. What do you want to achieve this weekend individually? We can't speak for the team, of course, because none of us are captains.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so individually, for me, I would like to not catch COVID. I would like to not run out. I would like to not run out of fuel. Not run out of fuel. Make sure I actually make it home on Sunday with all what's going on in the country, the fuel crisis. That's probably my biggest personal goals of the weekend. Make sure I actually get home to have a work on Monday and see my kids. Yeah, so tournament-wise, I'd like to think that hopefully I can go first 5 out of 5 games. Maximum damage. You'll understand why when you hear about my list. Yeah, maximum damage, turn 1, here we go. And really, to be honest, most of my games are going to be a complete coin flip. So if I can take away a bad matchup from someone else and turn it into a 50-50 chance of a win, then I'm doing my job for the team. So yeah, realistically, my weekend is up in the air. It's down to luck.
Yeah. Before we go to Matty, I will kind of mention that at this tournament we are all required to test negative for COVID before going, so that is a really good safety net. I actually just had I recently I got back into the country, so I had to take the day 2 PCR test, and I came back negative this evening. So yeah, I'm good. And then I'll take the test tomorrow, of course, just to prove to the TO I am not one of Nurgle's favourites.
We do that before we go, or is that when we first arrive, or what's the story with that?
I think all of the Scottish gents are doing it when we get down there. I think someone's bringing a massive stack of the NHS test kits.
I've got like.
I think I'm the odd one out who's doing it before he leaves, just because I'm leaving later in the day.
Yeah, but we'll figure it all out. I'll probably take one in the morning just in case, just to make sure I'm. Actually, no, I'll just test negative, so I'm fine. Screw you all. Matty, your expectations for this event? What do you want to achieve?
Yeah, so mine's quite different. Because I'm playing with the Glasgow guys.
You tried to catch COVID.
Oh, yeah, I tried it, yes. I want
That's
to 2 weeks off work. That's what I'm after. I don't even get off. I work from home now. So I'm playing with the Glasgow guys, and a few of them are still quite new to the scene. So Henry, for example, that's on the team. This will be his first ever tournament.
Oh, awesome.
That's it. So I brought my custodial list basically because I'm just going to play all the worst matchups available, just so I can guarantee some points. So I just want to have fun. Not get tabled every game. That'll be quite nice. Basically, I just want to play 5 people I've not played before and get to meet a bunch of people. That's sort of my hopes.
Yeah.
I make sure the rest of my team has a fun time. That's
awesome.
The key.
Nice.
Well, on a similar vein to Matty, so I'm on a Beast of Nurgle. This is my first ever tournament playing as Chaos, and I need to take a shower after saying that phrase, because and there's also Nurgle, which is doubly worse.
Not just Chaos, it's Nurgle Chaos. It's lovely stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll definitely be Nurgle's favourite after this event. It's this that so I am basically there just to get punched a lot and smile whilst being punched. I just the list has got this great quality of just absorbing anything and just getting like 8 points out of it for the team, which is huge. If anyone doesn't know, in teams we play differential scoring, so even if you lose the game, you still contribute towards your team's overall points. So personally, I want to score no less than 8 points in any game in the weekend.
Yes, that's what just for clarification, that's a 20-0 scoring system, so every game's worth 20 points. The idea is that both players start with 10 each, and then the differential in score then puts the winning player up to higher than 10 and the losing player below 10.
Which
eventually
means
you get 20-0 if it's a landslide.
Which means
the best way to think of it is just for every 5 points you win by, you steal 1 point from your opponent.
Yep. So I basically don't want to lose by any more than 15 battle points, and then I'll
stay within 2 points of a 10.
Which means in every game I have a puzzle of how do I score 85 points.
And if you score 85 points, you physically can't lose by more. Well, you can't be worse than 12-8 against. So
yeah. So that's my goal. I'm not there to win games, and then also I'm there to have fun and make sure my team has fun and play against players who are of world renown and have good games.
Yeah, there's some good players going to this event, isn't there?
Yeah, there are a couple of this is literally the best person for this faction type level of players. So we have our work cut out for us. So
there's multiple people going to this thing who make their living playing 40k and coaching 40k. So
yeah,
that's just something.
Yeah, we're not going to do massive shout outs of all the players because we'll be here forever. But this is like a pretty big guns event. I think it's a fair statement. So I'm just going to go rattle through my list and then we'll go in reverse. So then Matty and then Dave. So what I'm bringing to this is a piece of Nurgle spam. So it's a Nurgle battalion. It's got Epidemius, the Great Unclean One, with the 4-up Funeral Pain Exalted ability. Then Horticulate Slimix, 3 squads of Nurglings, 2 squads of 7 beasts and 1 squad of 8 beasts. And those beasts, just because they are the start of the list, they're T5, they're 5 of Invulnerable, and they're 5 of Funeral Pain, and they're just bricks because they're also 5 wounds each. They are literally disgustingly resilient. Yeah, they will look at a las cannon and laugh. They'll look at 10 las cannons and laugh. then there's 2 squads of Nurgle aligned Furies, so they also have the Funeral Pain. Then there's the Thousand Suns detachment, which is called a magic. It's got armament, it's got Exotic Sorcerer, and it's got rubrics, and they're just there to absolutely erupt in mortal wounds, and also do a little bit of scoring shenanigans because of teleportation relics and whatnot. But that's my list. Like I said, it's a brick. It stands there. It gets punched. I'm a punching bag, and I'm happy.
This list sounds very familiar. I feel like I've
where did
seen
that
this
list come
somewhere
from?
before. Or is
This
it just super unique?
is an Innes Wilson special. He ran it at the Clan Wars team event that recently happened in Scotland, and after that event, he handed me the army case and said, "Have fun."
Yeah, you're playing that in 2 weeks. Good luck.
Yeah, I have a total of 4 reps on this list.
That's the same number of reps I've got on my list. So.
I'm currently screaming internally, because like I said, this is a big gun event, and I'm going in with not a lot of game knowledge.
Yeah. Well, for you, it's a brand new faction, not alone. It's not just list. It's a brand new faction. At least for me, Marines, I play Marines all the time. Sure, I don't play these chapters or these models in some cases, but at least I know the basic stat line and rule set for the army.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty simple army. I walk forward and I get slapped. That's the.
So you don't die and you occasionally kill things.
Yeah, I most of the games I play, I am done in my of terms of like my time of playing in like half an hour.
Yeah,
it's a very fast army.
Yeah, I mean, for your list should easily, except for really hard counters, obviously, but its goal is to at least match your opponent on primary.
Yep. Sometimes
get ahead on primary, where it might fall down to some games of secondaries because you really can't go out and get the kills or be in all the different places at once, because they can, if your army splits up into parts, they can kill parts of your army, but what they can't do is deal with a whole lot at once. So if you park like the entire army across 2 objectives, you're going to hold them all game.
Yeah, like I said, the puzzle is how do I score 85 points? After that, it's bonus.
Yeah, 81.
81?
81, because they need 20 points to get the next margin.
Yes, they do, because the first 5 points don't count because of the ties. That can happen.
Yeah, but if they win by 16 or more, they get 13-7 though, so you want to keep it to 15 or less. So 85 is the number.
Anyway, Matty, your army overview.
Yeah, so it's a bit similar to the last event. I can't remember what it was called now. The team event we just had.
Clan Wars, yeah.
Yeah, it's a similar list to that, where I've got my Custody suit list. So I've got my Guard Squad, the 2 units of Scions, the Commander. It's got Trajan. It's got the -1 to hit banner, double Telemon. I've switched the guns out this time, though. So basically, I've just saved myself 30 points to put auto cannons on. Because I found that Telemons don't really kill stuff.
Oh,
so
you
why waste 30 points to kill
cannons?
Stuff? Yeah, that's what I'm painting it up now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because again, they don't kill anything at range, so why waste 30 points on guns that don't do anything? So I've got that. I've got 3 units of Sagittarium this time. So 3 small mans, so I can just run them on objectives. That means I'm not committing like 300 points to lose it next turn just because it needs to hold an objective. And then finally I've got 2... Yeah, they're so good at that.
But 3 of them.
I know, Vanguard vets, they just die instantly, don't they?
Yeah, 3 guys pick up Vanguard vets. 5 hours Vanguard vets all spec don't they?
Yeah. So for those that weren't there, last time at the Common Ground GT, me and Dave played each other round 5. And he decided to deep strike a unit Vanguard vets in my back line, and a 3-man unit Venatar just picked them up straight away.
It wasn't Venatar, it was Sagittarium.
The Sagittarium, yeah, so that's what I meant.
Yeah, 3 Sagittarium, Ospec scanned, hitting on 3s, not even 2s. You shot both profiles at its -1 to hit, and somehow picked up the entire squad.
Sagittarium do that.
Yeah, and then finally, just to rope the list off, I've got 2 units of 5 Venatari. So that's the winged dude with the pistols.
They're nice.
Yeah, they are super nice. Like strength 6 -2 damage on a pistol.
Yes.
6 is to hit, gives more shots if I remember correctly.
More shots. You can also make the auto wind on 6s and then
double the number of shots.
So yeah, they just basically pick a target and they pick it off the board.
As someone who plays Drukhari, strength 6 is literally my nightmare.
Yeah, they are my for Drukhari army sort of thing. Because even against your toughness 4 stuff.
Question?
No, go.
Yeah, so you've got No, it's okay because the 280 now. Sorry, they changed. Yeah, of course, doesn't matter. I was going to ask you about the to the lasts. I thought you'd dropping the guns. I thought maybe the Benetari might be more points, but they're still 5 points less. So it's still just one squad of Benetari and 2 Telemons.
Yeah, it's still sadly the Benetari squad are one of my 2 the last.
Yeah,
the other option I had for that
I thought maybe they were both 2 lasts with the Telemons being cheaper, but they're not. So I just pulled up the list and checked.
No, the other option I had in a previous list I was trying out was I had the 5-man shield squad.
Shield guys.
Because if you give them all Misericordias, it jumps them up to 275. So they cost the same as the Benetari squad. And nobody's killing 15 wounds at 1 up, 3 up.
Yeah, but you're dropping 6 sides of time to get that.
Yeah, it's not worth.
Yeah,
Dave.
Yes.
Your list.
Okay, so
your terrifying list.
Yeah, it's not terrifying. It's just different. It's weird, isn't it? So it's dual chapter. So we're using 2 different successor chapters. So we're using Ultramarines and we're using Raven Guards, both successors. The Raven Guard successors is Whirlwind of Rage and Born Heroes. So that's +1 to hit when you charge and exploding 6s in combat. Got Chaplain with Jump Pack. Got 5 Infiltrators. Got 2 squads of 10 Vanguard Veterans, Storm Shield Lightning Claw. The Sergeants have got Thunderhammers. Then we've got 5 Devastators, 3 Multimata, 1 Grab with a Cherub. That's full attachment. Then we've got Ultramarine successors, which is Whirlwind of Rage and Master Artisans, Tech Marine, and we've got 2 Redemptors with Plasma and Rocket Pods, 2 Invicta Warsuits with the autocannons, Company Vets, and 2 Landspeeder Storms, and 4 Saboteurs.
Like I said, terrifying.
So, yes. So the idea being that it's maximum pressure. If you go first, you potentially got 2 Invicta Warsuits, at least 10, if not 20, of the Vanguards can be, depending on the deployment, in their backfield. The Devastators can redeploy with the Chaplain's Warlord trait. So yeah, you can pretty much you can redeploy your Redemptors to the front line as well. So potentially you can have all the entire army shooting and half the army charging turn 1.
Even on like the insanely heavy terrain boards that WTC is known for.
Yeah,
this is not LGT. This is not LGT level terrain. This is heavier boards, but that list will find holes so easily.
It finds angles because you can redeploy so much stuff and you can move things around quite a lot. I mean, the Ultramarine stratagem lets you redeploy 3 units pre-game.
And you can use that multiple times if you want.
Yeah, I wouldn't need to in this case, but yeah. You're right. You can pre-game. I suppose you could. Anyway, it really gives Ultramarines one. Then you've got the Raven Guard. You can infiltrate with the stratagem, so you can basically pre-game move 10 Vanguard Veterans. You can then with the Warlord trait pick up either another 10 Vanguard Veterans or the Devastators and just drop them anywhere on the board. That's more than 9 from enemy models and 9 from enemy deployment zone. So yeah, you can literally just move half your army before the game starts.
Yeah.
And then they can all move again turn 1 and then he shoots and charge. So
Dave is basically playing DCR cults where he has 2 deployment phases.
Yeah, pretty much. However,
you would be my hero, Dave, if you played with Blitz.
yeah, I don't know Blitz, sadly. So yeah, but then the plan going second is just not nearly as fun. So the plan going second is you obviously you deploy some of your army aggressively and some of it defensively, and if you go second, you have to redeploy backwards.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of wait and see what happens, take a punch, shoot some, challenge whatever comes across the board, and then try and fight your way back from there. And it's a closer game. Going first, again, not against everything, but against the right armies, going first, you can deal so much damage. I played Drakari last night. We did a bit of a kind of a trial and error thing. We just tried a couple of different scenarios, talked through a bunch of different stuff before the game, and then we ran through the first couple of turns of actually playing with me going first to see what it would do. Now he was playing Drakari that also a redeploy. I forget which
Poison Tongue
cult it is that lets him do that. Poison Tongue, yeah, that's right. So he was able to redeploy like a couple of Venoms and a Raider or something pre-game. So anyway, he was able to get out of Melter range and a bunch of stuff because he won the roll off for my to make me do the redeploys first. So although I was going first, he was able to counter my redeploys. So I did all my stuff, then he moved away from it all. So he was a little bit lucky. Most armies can't do that. I still killed a Raider, 2 Venoms, a Ravager, I think 5 Mandrakes, 5 Witches, 10 Cabalites, and 2 squads of Reavers, turn 1. So it was like ridiculous. I think I killed about 700 points before he had a turn. So
ouch.
it was just it was just ridiculous.
I mean,
So actually, it's probably like 300 points. It's Darkadar, isn't it? So
yeah, like you really just put it back down to like 2k points of that.
yeah, really, I think I just made it a fair game at that point, to be honest, because actually he did a lot of damage coming back. He killed most of the stuff I put over there, but there was enough. But then the Redemptors had prime place, middle of the board, everything that came out to deal with the stuff. Because I made sure I charged stuff that was in ways I could then shoot at the next turn if he came out to charge me to pick it up. And everything he put out to deal with my Vanguard Vets and the stuff that I put over there, the Victors, everything came out to deal with them, and I just shot at Redemptors, and then it just everything died. So after turn 2, he had probably, well, definitely less than half his army, probably about 700-800 points left after turn 2. So it just, it was good damage output. So again, going first, I'm happy that can happen, but going second, I just don't think it's the same kind of game.
Yeah, I think going second, you're going to be a lot more cagey. I think you can still win that, but it's cagey.
It's different. I've got to play reactive instead of. But then to counter that, you take things like Oath the Moment, for example, and if you go second, then you're just in a good spot because you're just getting 3 Oath the Moment points. If you go first, you're doing so much damage that you're going to win anyway. So there's things like that you can do. Or you can take like the Kill More, for example, against like a Drakari, so you know that you can control at the bottom of the turn, and if you're going first, you just do so much damage, it doesn't matter. So there's things you can do to play for second as well.
So to run through the rest of the team for Dave and I, and then we'll run through our round 1 opponent's team, and then we'll get Matty back into it as well. So in Team Avon there is Orcs, that is Rocket Truck Buggy special list, just is there to shoot you and have fun whilst doing it. Then we've
not gone quite all in and out. We've gone a little bit more scoring than what most people would. It's not quite as buggy heavy as usual, but it's still a lot of buggies. Yeah,
there's still plenty of buggies, but as I said, we're not going to go too detailed into this. Just the archetypes. Then there's me, the Beast and Argo list. Then there's you with your Raven Guard Ultramarines redeployment shenanigans list. Then we got a Grey Knights list, which is a big stompy Grey Knights, so plenty of Nemesis Dread Knights in various forms. Then we've got a Death Guard player who kind of stepped in last minute when we had a drop, so thank you very much to Death Guard player for stepping in, and that is just another kind of brick list with a bit more teeth than the Beast and Argo list, so it's a nice variation on it.
For a change.
Yeah, and then we have Dark Eldar because it's Dark Eldar. We don't have Admech though. There's only 2 teams out of the 10 that are going who aren't bringing Admech, and they're both Scottish. So Scotland.
Is it not your team as well, Matty?
Yeah, we're the other team that don't have Admech.
So clearly we care the most about the community at large.
Yeah, so we don't really have an Admech player who was available for the event. There's one player who does play Admech and plays it pretty well, but sadly wasn't available for the event. So we didn't really have an Admech player to choose from, unfortunately.
Yeah. So and that is what I think Walt Goodhammer would describe as a Drakari good stuff list. Just all the good stuff in one list, and it's terrifying. Like if you're in Scotland, you've probably lost this.
You've played it.
Yeah.
You've played this. Well, not similar list. You've played it before, so you know what it was like. Yeah.
And then
it's not that scary. You just draw against it. Who doesn't automatically draw every round they do?
Simon lost the game yet with this list.
No, I played it at the weekend, and that was the case. Whereas every time we play each other, we just draw.
So we in Team Avon have been paired into Well Endowed England, I believe. I think is the team that is the quote unquote England one. I think it's fair to say, given the players who are on it, and this is, I think, again fair to say the most terrifying team at this event.
In terms of the players, and some of the lists are ridiculous as well. So good.
So, and again, we're not going to go into players because they may want to keep this sort of stuff secret, but we're just going to go into the list and the faction and the archetype. So you've got the very typical sisters list of a punchy shooty sisters list. Then you've got Skitari Mars good stuff. Then you've got Drakari good stuff list. I think is a fair way to summarize that. A bit different from Darwin though. It's got a few different tricks. Could definitely do some damage in the right matchups.
Yeah.
Then you've got knights, and knights and guard. That's gonna be an interesting one.
Knights and Scions, just some scoring. Yeah. That's cool.
And then you have Harlequins and Craftfold.
And Eldar.
Yeah. Very kind of. I think you could say standard Quins and Eldar.
Yes, standard Quins. The Eldar stuff's interesting. I quite like what you've done with that. I don't know we can't talk too much about it, but yeah, it's basically all the good stuff you'd expect from both books. If you want to play a janky shooty/combat game, instead of just sitting back, all the stuff that's aggressive and does well, it's what you'd expect.
And then we've got the last list is orcs, buggy, good stuff. I think. Yeah. We won't go into any more details of those lists.
No, because they're not our team, and we don't know how much people want to be sharing what they're playing this weekend, and also who's even going to be there. It might be different after the weekend. Maybe they'll not be too fussed about it. So we can
there may be other content creators talking about this stuff in more detail, but it's basically just not our place.
But we'll give them the courtesy of not doing it, especially before the event. So
yeah, but yeah, so we're gonna have a very interesting run one. I don't quite know what Innes, our captain, is thinking for the pairing, so I'm just gonna be a frog and take punches, no matter who I'm playing. And
we've got not the same role, but we've got a similar role that we will probably be quite often used to take away the bad matchups from other players who can score bigger. Yeah. So it's because yours just doesn't lose big. Mine just gives people a 50-50 chance of not doing what they wanted to do.
Make sure you bring your loaded dice that you have. Yeah, make sure you bring that with you.
For that first turn roll.
Yeah, absolutely. loaded 201. Yeah.
Well, I've got better than that. I've got my D12 that I was just going to roll for that. So that,
perfect.
There's a pretty good chance of, if my opponent rolls even a 6, I've still got a 50-50 chance of rolling more than their 6.
I can give you a D20.
I was going to say, why did you stop at D12? You get a higher D100.
Yeah, D9s and D12s for wounds and for like my CP counter and that kind of stuff. So I was going to roll the D12.
I'm pretty sure I saw a D1000 once, and just use that.
0.06 chance. How big is it?
Dave, you're thinking too one-dimensional with this. Just get a tile that's got 6 on it and throw that down.
If that only has 6.
A coin.
I think I got these giant wooden dice. My kids have got the huge big wooden dice that they throw out the room all the time. They just bring that down. It's not. It just rolls normally, but it's enormous. Maybe I should just since it's that important a roll for going first, just roll that.
Yeah. Just
knock
over all the train
down with you.
Yeah, it's like 6 inches. It's a huge dice. Cool.
All right, Matty, do you want to talk through your team and your run one matchup?
Yes, certainly. So we've got, as I try to remember what's actually on my team's list.
This is Team Scotch Broth by.
Yeah, Team Scotch Broth, straight from the Bowling for Soup guys. So you've got myself on basically Imperial Soup, so a mixture of Custodian Guard.
Is that a bowl of soup? Is that a bowl of custard Scotch broth?
Campbell's finest
Scotch broth soup.
Creme de Royale. No, I'm actually golden mushroom is what I've been referred to as.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've all got like names to do with different types of soups. There is Callum known as Harlequins. So he's a long time player with that.
Craftworld as well, isn't he? He's got some Craftworld in there.
Craftworld as well, yeah. I think it's similar to that list you were talking about where he's got a couple of
different stuff. His is more like scoring stuff rather than damage output, but yeah, it's he's got far more Harlequins and less Eldar.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
Yeah, so he's got that. Next, we've got Chris the K. He has his Death Watch. So that's quite nice. Again, he's got a lot of dreadnoughts in there. A lot of big kill teams.
Weird list. That's cool. I like it. You don't see a lot of Death Watch going around these days, but I like what he's done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So again, that's a similar thing where that'll be, it goes in, it does its damage. It kind of does what it says on the tin.
Bunch of kill teams, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
So the take all comers, it's really got an answer for everything, doesn't it?
Yeah. Next, we've got Chris with a C. He is on his Drakari. So again, it's Drakari, it's got Raiders, it's got everything it needs. What more do you need to talk about?
Basically all the good stuff in the Codex times 3. Very much.
Yeah.
Drakari, good stuff.
More. Yes.
Next, we've got Henry, the gangster, who's just brought all the cool stuff. So he's got 15 Squig Boys. 15 Squig Boys, 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 15 Squig Bo He's got a bunch of Beast Boss on Squigosaurs.
Oh, nice.
He's got a bunch of small vehicles like the. I play Orcs and should remember what they're called. Deathcopters, that's what they're called.
Deathcopters, yeah. Cool.
Deathcopters and a bunch of other characters and different boys and stuff. He's
Yeah.
just got a whole hodgepodge of everything, and it's amazing. He's going to run at people, and he's going to have the best weekend of his life.
Is
That's
he,
what's going to happen.
is he going to? Please tell me he will walk right next to Innes, scream "wah," and then walk away.
At least once.
At
At
least
least
once.
once.
We're just going to record him the
One
first
per
time he
game.
does it. Record him the first time he does it, and just play it on repeat next to Innes for the whole weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping to hear at least one more. I didn't hear any at LGT, and I was so sad.
No, I've already. You know why? You just when you do it now.
Considering how the
That's what
orcs were
he's doing
LGT. Considering how the orcs were LGT, that's quite amazing actually. I thought there'd be quite a lot of wagging going on.
Well, that's what I'm doing next. After this tournament, I'm putting the custodians to the side to play the Orcs again.
Yeah, I saw your
So I
orcs
can't
last
wait
night.
to
It was
not
good to see them on the
not
table.
wah again.
Yeah.
And the final player, again, we had a drop out last minute as well. Somebody couldn't turn up. So our hero of the hour, Mr. Brian Set, coming in with his Death Guard.
Yep.
He's got that. He again has his big unkilly units. So he's going to be just walking at people, having his best
Yeah.
days.
Nargo do what Nargo do.
Nice. Yeah.
And who
All
you
the
paired
good stuff.
into?
We are paired into another English team. So we are playing Team England A-Holes,
Okay.
Ooh.
which is going to be fun because you look at somebody this list and you go, they're quite scary. So I'll just go through it quickly one at a time again, not into detail, just roughly what stuff is. So the first list we've got here is a Space Marine list. 10 points if you know what the first chapter is.
Iron Hands?
Ultramarines.
No, Ravengar Successor.
Whatever. That's okay, cool.
Do we know what the second one is?
Ultramarines.
Ultramarine?
No, you all fell into the trap. It's Death Watch.
Ah.
So I have to say you don't get to see it much. So yeah, so he's got Death Watch mech list as well on top.
Clearly, I haven't looked at this list up very well.
Have you done your
There we go. I've just found it. I was looking for it there. I've just found it.
I've done my
We're at
matrix
the
as
car
well.
going down tomorrow. I've been too busy at work this week. I haven't had a chance to look at the stock. So this is pretty much my first time looking at it tonight. But we're going to have a look at the matrix in the car tomorrow heading down once I finish working.
I did my matrix as well. I could not tell you what anyone else's list is bar my own though. There's just too many of them. I don't know how anyone can keep track of all
Yeah,
this.
so you got what we got here? So Rune Guard, Successors, yeah.
Yeah, because
Yep.
again, there's 10 teams with 6 players, so it's 60 lists you've got to try and remember.
Yeah, so the stuff you'd expect in Death Watch, yeah, just stompy, shooty stuff, and movement guard stuff, the stuff you'd expect, punchy stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Next list, we've got Orcs, we've got Buggies. Next list,
Woo!
nothing
Yeah,
else
pretty
we
much.
need to talk about here.
Yeah.
So what I like about this so far is they've 2 of their armies we've also got. We go to the third one. They have a Custodian Guard soup list. So we're
Very
3 for
different
3
viewers, though.
now. It's completely
Very
different to mine.
viewers.
This is
totally
our next
dread heavy.
list.
Yeah, dread heavy custodes instead of units.
Matty, are you
that's
sure
nice,
you're
though,
not
like-
you're not just looking at your team again?
Oh, I wish. Honestly, this guy's one of the lists that I only want to play. If I could
I've
just
got-
run
I've
Dreadnoughts, this
got
is
the
what
model
I'd be
set
running.
list. Matty, you can borrow that stuff if you want sometime. I've got all the models for that.
So do I, though. That's the issue.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. If it's a Custodian, I'm pretty sure I've got the model.
Yeah. Well, that's a quite scary list for a lot of things. A lot of things can't deal with this. Actually, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be a fun list.
And then
That's
this-
hard to kill
yeah.
Dreadnoughts. He's going to run at you. He's going to be living
Yeah,
his
he's
best
got,
days.
he's got to control the board. A bunch of objects sit behind him, and then the scions for doing sciony things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got
Nice.
the CP regen for the double, so he's never run
Cool,
out of
that's
CP for his
Quite a
defensive
fun list to play
strats.
that. Yeah, it'd be a fun list to play. I quite like that list. I'd play
Cool.
that.
Next list, we've got Admech. So they're going away from us now. It's got
Yeah.
planes. It's got
Yeah.
vehicles. It's got bodies. It's got
It's,
Admech. Nobody wants
is
to
it
hear about
AdMech good
Admech.
stuff?
It's the
chickens.
Admech good stuff.
It's chickens,
It's-
planes, punchy things, and troops and characters.
It's Admech. They kind of do everything, and they seem to
Yeah.
have a good unit for everything.
It's
Yeah.
quite neat. They do. It's really good. Yeah.
But no, next we're on to an actual unique list that's actually fun. This is what we're here for. I know. We're against demons.
Oh wow, this is even worse than yours for its number of hard to kill things, Chris.
Yes, this
This
is
is back
something
to
which I am not playing
L8
at all.
edition. This is the type of thing you used to see on the table 3 years ago.
Is it?
I don't miss playing at this.
That's why I say it's
Is
not
it-
the Jim Vessel special we've got here.
Is
No,
it?
he had a
Is
lot more
it?
smites behind it. But
Is it rather than big durable? Is it small durable?
it's very small deal. Yeah, so it's a big. Jim Vessel used to run like 60 to 90 play bearers, and then put a bunch of smites behind them, with a few other bits and pieces in the list. This is just double down on maximum durability. Just so much. Yeah, there's a few killy characters around about it, but there's not nearly the same.
It's Nurgle board control then. I think we can leave it at that.
Yeah, it's just Nurgle. It's the whole thing. It's Nurgle Demons, the whole list.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
What was the last
I'd
one?
be fun to see on the table.
And
Actually.
to
I haven't played
finish
it
as
for a
well.
long time.
Back on
Ooh.
track to have armies, we've got Harlequin's list.
Yeah.
This is just
Harlequin's
full
good stuff
Harlequins
again.
though.
Oh, no, so
Yeah,
no Crafthold.
I like it.
This one's
Oh, there is.
interesting though
Oh, there's
because
not
he's
actually,
only
sorry,
got
just-
1, 2, 3, 4 data sheets. 5
Sounds
data
like
sheets.
Harlequins. That does sound like Harlequins.
5 data sheets. He's just spamming the same thing over and over.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you just got.
So
Yeah, he's even got duplicate characters, isn't he? Yeah, well, that's a cool list though. That's going to do a lot into the right things.
That's what I said. That's going to be really annoying if he
Quite-
plays it
quite
right with all
askew.
the tricks he can do.
Yeah, quite a skew, but really cool list.
So, Matty, are you feeling confident? Is the team feeling confident about this, or are you
The
looking at
team's
this
feeling
with
confident.
apprehension?
I'm okay. There's only one list there which actually has me sort of shaking at the knees.
Did
But
you look
that's
at the
just
player
because I-
names?
You do
Is
your
that why you're
make
not so
as if you
confident?
don't know the players. They're player agnostic.
Yeah.
So it
fair
doesn't
enough.
worry.
Okay, let me just delete the first line from every single list in this document.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
That's the
it'll
problem.
be
You do
fun, though.
Matrix.
It'll
I
be
had to go
a
for that. You
learning
do
curve.
Matrix. You think that was actually a good player. Oh well.
yeah,
Or
is it-
vice versa.
yeah,
That's a great list. But who's that person? I think that should be okay.
yeah. So you'll notice we haven't mentioned Team Wales or any teams from Wales yet in this video. That's because we haven't been fortunate enough to be paired into any of them because they're always a great game. So we're just going to highlight Wales 1 to you, which have the best team name in the history of team names. This is Team Welsh Dragons Pop Ping. Adam isn't allowed good armies in this team. Wales and Gaz can't choose names. Team.
Is that one team name?
That is one
Yep.
team name. That is so Welsh Dragons Pop Ping. Adam isn't allowed good armies in this team. Wales and Gaz can't choose names.
Nice.
I really hope that they win, just so that
They've
they
got
have
the
to
best names actually.
read
They've
that
got
out.
Sammys and Jammies with them as well. Haven't
Yeah, like they've got some.
they? Yeah, they're the best
amazing
team names
names.
out of all of them, I think.
Well,
I've just found
we
it,
will refer to them as the Welsh Dragons for the interest of this video not being an hour long.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So just to highlight their list briefly, even though we're not paired into them at all, just to make sure we have some Welsh representation here. They've got Thousand Suns, good stuff. Lots of like a few stompy things, a few bricks, and and I believe it's kind of Jupiter they're going for, so it's board control as well.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks strong. Then they've
Yeah,
got
it's exciting. The Terminator's almost nice, aren't they? They're all some of the small
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah.
Then they've got the Mars, good stuff. AdMech, just all the nice units that you'd ever want in the AdMech list are shown here.
Flyers again.
Yep. Then we've got a slightly different take on the Orcs list, so less buggies, more combat-y stuff, and there is one unit that I really wish I could shout out here. Actually, 2 units I wish I could shout out here, but I can't. But the fact that they are on the tabletop will make me very,
There
very,
is
very happy.
one that we are going to shout out that he's brought because it doesn't display anything about the list. He's brought a Squiggoth.
Yes!
He's a hero for bringing that.
Yeah.
It's good because none of his stuff can fit in it. Like one unit he's got can actually fit in it. That's it. So it's
I
amazing
grew
that he's
up
brought it. even though it
playing
makes no
Dawn of War
sense.
1, and I remember being stuck on the mission where the Squiggoth charges over the bridge into your Space Marines, and for ages, because I was a very bad gamer back then, and I was just so happy I get to see one. I haven't seen one yet. I haven't laid my physical eyes on one, so it's going to be awesome. So
Does that mean I
Yeah,
need
it's
I now need to
looks
buy
like a really
one,
fun art
Chris?
list actually.
what?
Rather than being all buggies, it's just really fun map list. It's cool.
Yeah. Then we have no Smurf Marines list. I won't. I don't. Shouldn't need to go into any more detail than that. I think we all kind of understand what that entails at this stage. Then
It's pretty
this
much your
is
standard thing, isn't it, these days? The latest
yeah.
goodness that comes with that.
Then the next list is a less big stompy thing, but still stompy things. Grey Knights list. It feels weird shouting out these lists whilst being so vague.
Yeah, this is. Sorry,
It's still just as stompy, isn't it?
No, there's one less.
um,
Oh no wait. No wait,
No, it's horribly formatted.
It's
He's
just the
got
same,
as
it's the
many.
same number. It's what's more. It's got one more.
Oh no, so this is full on stompy. Cool.
Yeah, he's got as many as he can bring.
There's 2 each attachment. Yeah, he's got yeah. So
Yep. This is gonna walk towards you and slap you with a giant giant metal hand.
Lots of giant baby carriers, giant silver baby carriers.
Yep. And then to run off the team, we have again your kind of typical shooty punchy sisters list. No, having a nice balance between the two ideologies there. So
those last 2 lists there. So those again, that sisters list is not too far off what I played. That last team sport we talked about, so Clan Wars. My 2 worst games, which were both draws, was against 6 Dread Knight, Grey Knights, and very MSU mix-up sisters like that with a mixture of combat and shooting. That was when I was playing White Scars, and that was my hardest 2 games I played for the weekend of both times. So,
yeah, Sisters is really good into WTC because of their facts. They fax one of the orders that are present here to actually work, whereas in the book it doesn't, for getting out vehicles basically.
Yeah.
So they can actually do all that stuff like they should be doing.
Yeah.
Whereas
is that it disembark after moving and then advance?
Yeah, they can advance and come.
And then they can still move and still shoot. So yeah.
So typically WTC have fixed the rules for the 40W. So
that's the Dominions and Retributors all of a sudden get good. Well, they're good anyway, but they get even better. So.
But
so the minute I stopped playing Sisters, they got fixed, and I was getting so annoyed.
So that is kind of all the content we wanted to cover in this video. I'm departing to go down to the tournament in just under 12 hours. I've got to edit this video and render it and upload it, so we're gonna cut it off here. Dave, any last words for the audience?
Not from me, just looking forward to having a good weekend. So hope it's good. Looking forward to getting rolling some dice and see a lot of people we haven't seen for a while.
Yep. Matty, final words?
Don't forget the Scottish Major next month.
No.
Give it a shout out to get everybody down.
Yeah, so there's a major next month down at Knights Gaming, I think it is.
Yeah.
Nightly Gaming in Bathgate.
Nightly Gaming in Bathgate. If I remember, I'll put a link in the doobly-doo downstairs. But if not, just Google Nightly Gaming and you will be able to find your way to there. It'd be awesome to see as many people there as possible.
The event's called Clash of Alba, and it's on the 20th and 21st of November in Bathgate, which is just kind of between, just as Edinburgh towards Glasgow. So
I sadly won't be there.
Yeah, they've sold over 60 tickets, so it is a major thing. So it's the first Scottish one. So again, just the more people, the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So really hoping that I'll be able to get. Pop my head in the door on the Sunday. I'm not there because I've got tickets to the rugby instead. So
yeah, you're too busy watching people throw a funny shaped ball around the field.
Yeah, pretty much. But also no.
I wish I was good at that actually. I forgot about it when I bought my ticket. I
have a spare ticket for that one, so I would have. I
got a ticket from you, remember?
Yeah.
I was going to go with you.
Yeah.
But I forgot and booked the ticket.
You could drop out 59 instead of major.
If I lose my first day in the morning, I might just go to rugby in the afternoon.
Do it. Yeah. So just to run it off for me, really hope everyone has a great time at this event. Really hope all the teams perform well, and we have an awesome weekend of 5 games of 40k against people we don't normally get to play against. At the end of the day, if I'm paired into Scotland team, the other 2 Scottish teams are going to be annoyed.
I'm looking forward to hopefully playing against 5 people I haven't played before, which would be really nice.
Yeah, Matty, I do not have a game against you. I can get that anytime I want.
No, it was that attitude one. We're never playing again now, Chris.
You're staying away from me,
Okay.
boy. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed the video and you got some good information out of it. I know we couldn't have been as specific as we would have liked to, but that is the nature of the beast when you get into these high caliber team events. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Give us your feedback. All that good stuff. And we'll catch you after the event. We'll see if anyone's feeling up to doing a little vlog. If not, I'll just be on my lonesome and do a live stream. Bye for now.
See yous.